All right, so I spent the last week in Scottsdale, Arizona on a 24-person guys trip. 24 because we did a 12v12 Ryder Cup style tournament.
I love
All
it.
in one house.
All in one house. So
I
this
love it.
this trip has grown. It started with 4 of us, then 12, then 16, and now 24, and I think we've reached the limit. I think we're going to go back down to 16 because 24 guys in one house is a lot.
What if we go 64? Have a full tournament.
No,
Wow.
I don't know that many people.
Well, that's going to be an interesting play because you're going to have to cut people. So how do people find out? Is this like The Bachelor?
We've started our trim list. Yeah.
Oh, and who gets to be on the power council of composing trim list is an interesting.
The original 4 get to decide.
Okay, you're the elders.
Sure. It's our trip.
Okay. This is different than my trim list.
All right, yeah. No one's.
He waited for it. I was expecting it immediately, but he definitely allowed the comedy to simmer.
Yeah.
For 3 seconds.
I've missed you. Yeah. Okay, so we golf
With
at these
20 guys, they had to be.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
That had to be the dirtiest place you could ever be.
Yeah.
Scottsdale.
And you stayed in a big Airbnb?
Yeah, and so it comes out to
24 stinky dudes.
I think it comes out to like $300 for 4 nights.
That's the best.
There's
dude.
so many of you.
Yeah, like the trip we're going on in August. That recently we added the Sea Cow to. It's like a several $1 million mansion.
Yeah, so how much was the Airbnb?
We end up getting out for like $600 each.
I can't do 24 times 300. What does that
I
mean?
don't know, $5 or $6 grand. I don't know. I can't do that math.
A night.
How big was this place?
$6,000 a night.
Yeah, I don't know. I paid my $350. That's what I know.
I mean, Scottsdale
Wait,
is basically the Highland Park of Phoenix.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you probably
Is it?
had a pretty, yeah.
It's nice.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, the house was, great. Tennis court, basketball court, pool,
$8,400 a night.
Jeez.
miniature course, or putt-putt course in the backyard. I mean, it had everything you wanted and a ton of bedrooms, but there's like 3 guys to each bedroom. And so it comes out to be really affordable. And so we golf at these really cool courses because we're playing in just the dead of summer.
Nobody's there.
Right. One of the employees told us, so we played the TPC Scottsdale Stadium, which is where the Waste Management Open is, where they go crazy on Super Bowl Sunday. The normal tee time for that is $550. We played it for $150.
Dang.
And so a lot of these courses, it's a severe discount because it's 115 degrees outside. Right. But every day is very similar. You're up at 5:30. You're at the course by 6:30. You're teeing off by 7. And so you're done by noon. So the weather is actually not that bad.
Yeah.
It's really not. And then you grab lunch. You go back to the house. You either get in the pool or take a nap. And then you go to dinner and hit the casino. Next day, you do it over again. And it's a wild ride.
That sounds incredible.
For the golfers out there, we played Greyhawk Raptor, which is where the junior college tournament used to be.
That sounds like an
Now it's in San Diego.
AI-generated golf course name.
Just wait. How about this? True North Pinnacle.
Okay, yeah, this is getting worse.
Both Weekopaw courses, and then, of course, TPC Scottsdale Stadium. I know you wanted to know about the format. Day 1 was a scramble.
Uh-huh.
You and your partner each hit, pick your best ball.
Best ball.
Day 2 was best ball, where you and your partner
Wait,
play
I thought we
through.
just did best ball.
Nope, that's a scramble. Best ball is you pick your best ball of the hole. So if I got par, Jake got bogey, we're going to take my par. But you play your own ball through the hole.
Is this now, Dan?
Okay, you don't play the best ball of each shot.
No.
Dan, do you have a question about the
Stableford scoring system?
So
I
day
thought
1
that'd be
was
by day
scramble.
4.
Day 2 was best ball. Day 3 was the Stableford scoring system. We
For
actually
real?
did.
We
play
actually
Stableford.
did it.
Did you invent this?
No, we didn't invent it. It's a golf
You've never
word
heard of that?
Dan and I know, and anytime someone brings
I
up
always hear that growing up. Like
Are they
played
doing
this tournament,
Stableford?
And they use the Stableford scoring system.
So
But I've never known what it is.
the reason we did Stableford, which
for Dan?
I want to say partly, but it's because if you have a really good teammate, obviously he's going to probably make par on every hole. My ball's not going to matter. You were never going to take one of my holes. So at least for the Stableford, it takes account for both teammates.
Of course it does.
I mean, that's why people love it.
Yep.
And that's why we played it. So
there
then
it is.
So then we
right there,
did.
folks. Now, did you go
people love
Stableford or modified Stableford?
It looks like we went. It looks like we just did normal Stableford.
Okay, well, look into the modified for next year.
Okay, yeah, we'll look into the modified.
Any albatross?
I
You
mean,
want the most points
Yeah, that's how this one works.
over 18 holes.
yeah. And then we went back to best ball day 4, and then day 5, of course, individual matches.
Match play.
That's where the bulk of your points are made.
Yep.
So we had a total of 36 points up for grabs, and I'm a part of Team Rats. We had a rough year.
Oh, no.
We lost a team coach 23.5 to 12.5.
Wow, that's a routing.
Now, here's the problem. I got 3 of my team's points, and our captain got 4. That's 7 of the 12.5.
Yeah.
We needed some help.
You've got 10 people left.
So we're looking to trim some fat. Yeah, maybe we're taking a few people off of Team Rats. Tell them to kick rocks. You're not up for this tournament.
It happens.
So the golf is cool if you're into that, but the most fun you have at the trip is obviously at the house.
So could I, if I was ever invited, which I wouldn't be,
You would
but if you
decline
did,
if you were.
would you let me just stay and not play golf?
We had a guy do that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he stayed at the house
All right.
and just hung out with us and went to the casino.
Yeah, I think.
But he had
That
to pay
sounds good.
But he paid the same $350 everybody else did.
But you didn't have to pay for rounds, though.
No,
Yeah.
but that helped lower the house cost.
But I'm pretty sure that next
Right.
time we have the group ski trip, I'm just going to go and not go.
Come on.
Yeah.
Because I got a buddy who does that, and we just
I'll stay back. I'll clean the
burns
dishes
a
up.
J
I'll
at noon.
Get everything ready.
and we
for-
just hang out in the mountains.
So wait, you had one guy that didn't golf and just stayed at
That sounds
at
great.
Masturbation
I would love to be that
Castle
guy.
for
He would
5 hours every
Yeah.
morning.
Yeah, he would go to the casino.
Then
until
he doesn't have to wake up early with
That's
you,
right.
He stayed at the casino until 2 a.m., woke up at 11,
Mhm.
Yeah.
and was just with us the rest of the day.
That guy is
He had
my
the
hero.
best time
yeah,
of
yeah,
anyone.
for sure.
Yes.
He doesn't
No
have to
stress.
lose money golfing.
Yeah.
He can
Rested.
only lose money at the casino.
Right.
Yeah. He had. I think he probably had the best time.
Maybe go get a massage.
I mean, whatever you want.
Yeah. Bagel.
What time were you guys in bed? every
Wait.
night? Like 10?
Wait,
A bagel.
why would that be the other best option?
Well, either a massage or a bagel. Those are the two things you could do
The
if
people-
everybody else was gone.
In Scottsdale.
The two things that people usually bring up for relaxation
Yeah.
are massage and bagel.
Yeah, I'm just saying. Enjoy your breakfast alone.
Oh, man.
The first thing you have to adjust
I
when
guess
you get
bagel.
back is how you talk.
Oh, there's no doubt.
Because I got home, my wife started yapping, and I just wanted to go at her, just like I did all the other guys.
Yeah.
You got to dial it back.
We've talked about this before when you've come back.
Yeah. You curse significantly more.
And
That
you're
has-
ready to jump on someone for a dumb statement?
Oh, my gosh. Yeah.
Because, yeah, my wife will be like, you're not on the air.
Yeah,
Oh,
I've
we've
got-
all
In fact,
heard
this
you're
morning,
not on
I
the
got
air.
in an argument. Write this down for my arguments with my wife.
I love these.
Because she got up later than me. So I got up and I went up to the den and I started doing, prepping for the show or doing whatever I do up there. And then she got up like a half hour later, so I hear her right down below, and she goes, hi, Dan. I said, hey. And that was it. And about 15 minutes later, I was walking down to get some coffee, and she goes, oh, hi. I go, how many times do we say hi? I go, just 50, she goes, I don't know, every time if I want. Why do you have to be
What are
like
you?
this?
What are you, Trey?
Yeah, I've told her that before. She really hated that. Because Trey at the Trey at the station, every time you would see him,
Every time.
he'd say hi,
How's it going,
and maybe
man?
even reach out to shake your hand sometime, like twice in a day.
I
I'm
saw
like,
you
dude.
like 2 hours ago.
And if I see you
Those
every
hallways
day,
are
like
narrow.
when he would produce for us, if I see you every day, I just don't need to do the whole thing every day now.
Yeah.
Like we're gonna talk, we're gonna be in a meeting, we're gonna be on the show together all day.
Yep.
How many times do we have to say hi? We live together, we've been married. I don't need to just say hi to you all the time. I thought one of the great things about being married is you can have silence and you can have, you know each other now.
I thought it was honking boobs.
Honkin' boobs is one of the
He
great.
said one of.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they're many.
The fact that I can reach out and honk
No,
a boob.
we've all heard. What do you think you're doing the show right now?
You're not on the air.
You're not on the yeah, like
it's
you
a big
said.
one.
But yeah, like if I start really rolling on something, oh, you think you're doing the show right now?
If I was on the air, you'd know it.
Yeah.
I think there's at least for
I'd
me,
start reading the comments on you.
at the ticket, unless I was working on a show with you or in a control room or studio with you for my shift. If I saw you one time and gave you a greeting, I don't want eye contact with you the rest of the day. I don't care if we walk past each other 50 times in the hallway.
This is why Dan has always said that despite the criticisms that were volleyed his way, that Pat from production was our hero.
The best coworker I've ever had.
The best coworker we've ever had, because
he won't even acknowledge your existence.
no,
Yeah.
bathroom, hallway,
If he hasn't seen
break
you
room,
in 4 months
nope.
and
No
you've
talk.
given him a present, he won't even say anything.
And then when it's time to do business and he needs you to come to a production room and read some copy, hey, can you come in here and do this?
Quick.
And then we do it, and then we leave.
You walk in there and he's ready, he's rolling.
He's not
Like
doing
there's no like, oh, how was
Boy, Cowboys really blew it yet.
doesn't want to know about my kid?
No.
In retrospect, that is so true, because anytime that I had any interaction with him outside of doing a job, it was all I had to break the ice. Hey,
Yeah.
Pat, how's it going? Hey. I mean, if you got that, you were lucky.
Yeah.
But there was no time for small talk.
A to B.
Dude.
Yeah, he's the
A to
best.
B, and I loved it.
If I could bottle up one thing, I think it's how I feel with 23 of my buddies around.
It's pretty great. It's pretty great. It's
Somebody
worth-
gives me the side eye. What's up? You
yeah.
got something to say?
yeah. That is nice.
I mean, that's a big difference.
Going through the airport, somebody's being a dick. Hey, why don't you pipe down over there?
Yeah.
What are you going to fight all of us?
I mean, there's a big difference in Pat. You have Pat on one hand, who's just
Yeah.
doing grunt work, and then you have your GM who will ask you what you think of Dak's contract while he's taking a shit. You know? Hey,
They're gonna
what's
get
the deal with Dak? I don't know,
Wants-
dude. I'm
wants
just trying to get
50,
out of here
55.
as quick as I can.
But yeah, I mean, I remember. I guess it was 2 years ago, the Montana trip. We went to the bar and restaurant at night, and that's when a couple of the fellows ran into Johnny Football.
This isn't the same trip you ran into Stephen Jones?
No.
Okay.
I've been
They
to
saw
Montana
Johnny
twice.
Football smoking a cigarette.
Yeah. And KJ and David Ruff from Circling Back took a picture
While
with
he
him.
was, I think, going on podcast saying it was comeback season, and he was on his way back to the NFL.
And he looked like he weighed like
yeah.
about 140 pounds soaking wet, and was as drunk as we were, and it was like 5 o'clock. So
I can
don't
tell
know
you were
that he
next
was,
to your dad yesterday because you said 140 pounds soaking wet. That is
that
a
is
dad.
a very dad thing.
That's
That
like
is.
Yeah, for sure.
Very chappy.
Osmosis.
Oh, by the way, happy Father's Day.
Hey,
Yeah.
thanks, man.
Homo.
You too. Okay.
Speaking of Chappie and Father's Day,
Anyways, I was just gonna say the feeling of walking into a bar with like 15 of your friends is just Blake's right. You're
you
just
feel
like,
untouchable.
we have now. It's basically like eminent domain. Like,
This is
we have
ours
essentially assumed this is our property now, which is worth the price of admission.
So you can kind of understand the early North American settlers.
Of course,
Like, look,
they mobbed up and showed up.
Yeah.
And they're like, look, this is ours
Yeah,
now.
that's
Yeah.
a good point.
here's some blankets.
My dad goes on the trip.
Whoa.
And I think we talked about this last time, and that was really weird for you guys, but I wouldn't act any differently if he was around or not.
Your dad was on the trip.
In fact, he did more gummies than I did.
You still do? I was gonna say you still do a little.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's on every corner.
Did you do the whole Beatles thing where you all sit in a circle? And,
Nope, didn't do the circle jerk.
Oh,
Beatles.
Didn't do that.
I was trying
know
to
about that.
go euphemism it. but-
Heard.
Okay.
Hey, Dad,
Just get real descriptive.
is the gummy kicking in yet?
In fact, I forgot. I forgot that story is in the John Lennon book that I read. I read a McCartney book and a John Lennon book by the same guy.
Okay.
And it's real extensive. And I forgot until just last week. My daughter wanted to borrow it. And she's 18. And she's like, yeah, I'm 3 chapters in, and then they're describing the whole where the Beatles would sit in a circle and like laugh and challenge each other to
To contest.
finish first and all that. It's like, and apparently that's in the book, and I forgot when I handed it to my daughter.
And it's early.
Yeah,
It's like early. in
it's
the
like
book?
right
Yeah.
away in the book.
That's no good.
The book
Like
just
the
kind of
first
lets you
page.
know what it's all about from the beginning.
I guess
Kind of like
so.
the Sarah Heppola book, trying to just grab you
Yeah,
real early. Yeah.
I suppose so.
Yeah.
I suppose so.
So during downtime, a guy in the house and me have started a tradition where during nap time or downtime, we try to watch like military movies.
Okay.
All right, man.
Weird.
You lay on
As
the couch.
material to encourage your
Lay on the
circle jerk?
couch. You got the fan going. You're just trying to relax. Just pop a movie on to fall asleep.
But it has to be military.
That's what we've been doing.
Okay,
That's just
can I
kind of
just
how
say
it's
something?
grown over time.
If soaking wet is a dad thing, then pointing out that one of the features is that the fan was going.
These houses have really nice fans.
Like that's
The comments on the airflow in that house were stellar. It was
the fan.
in fact, in
Airflow.
one of the houses, we were looking up the model of the fan because it was that good.
Jeez, that's dad.
Well,
God.
the movie this year, Hacksaw Ridge. I'd never seen it.
Gene Hackman, right?
No.
Gene Hacksaw.
Gene
Clint-
Hacksaw? No, it's
Clint Eastwood.
it's Clint Eastwood produced for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't remember many of the actors. But it's
Is that
the
the
guy,
one? It's from the Japanese perspective.
No, it's the one of the guy who didn't use a gun.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, he was
Oh,
Barney
yeah,
Fife.
yeah.
he was a combat
That's right,
combat
that's right.
medic and saved over, I don't know, 100 people from Hacksaw Ridge.
Yeah, he's like
He was a
he has some-
conscientious objector. to-
Exactly,
yeah,
yes,
because
but
of
got
religious.
drafted. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Vince
Yeah,
Vaughn.
Vince Vaughn was the platoon leader or whatever.
Okay, then I've never seen it.
Really good. And I typically just don't watch movies during the year. And so I hadn't seen this one. It was really, really cool. And then the next day we watched.
I don't watch movies. What?
During the year?
during the year, but like on
at
vacation
home.
or hanging out with the boys or whatever.
I know what he
Throw a
means
movie
by
on.
that because I don't watch. I really don't watch movies at home much at all. But
Yeah.
as I told you guys, the last guys trip I went on, we knocked out Predator, Under Siege, and Lethal Weapon 2
Okay.
in like one day.
Damn.
Because what's his
Alamo
name?
Greatest Hits.
What's his
Yeah.
name died that weekend, right?
Yeah.
Apollo Creed.
Apollo Creed,
Yeah.
Carl Weathers.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we watched Happy Gilmore as well.
That's right.
Yeah.
Then the next day we watched Anyone But You, the new Sydney Sweeney movie.
Oh, you. All right, dude.
Even I skipped that.
And that's when they had the
Just
circle.
bro. You're right. Just bros.
I thought there was a military
get boners.
cool theme here. Like, listen to all the movies I just named and how badass they are.
Yeah.
Did they have Sydney Sweeney's tits in them?
Mm.
That's a solid
Counterpoint.
counter,
Yeah.
but I just don't think that's worth watching with your friends.
Yeah, and you're right. That movie was horrible.
Of course
Of course it was horrible.
She's a terrible actress. He's a terrible actor.
Yeah.
I was thinking about this the other night, actually. I don't remember what we were watching, but we don't have any, like, legitimate leading men anymore. Like, even Leo was... we were talking about... My wife and I were talking about Ben Affleck for some reason.
Well, they're all in their 50s, the ones that are...
I know, but, like, the new ones suck. Like, Glenn Powell, I'm not buying it.
What about Ryan Reynolds?
He's older,
Jake
too.
Gyllenhaal's a solid point. That's a good one. But, I mean, he's getting up there. Like, we used to have, like, 5 to 10 consistent, bankable leading men.
I mean, who's the biggest one? It's got to be...
I mean, Glenn Powell is cooking.
So you're saying I got Leo, I got Brad
The
Pitt,
guy
I
from
got
the guy
Yeah.
from Ken and Barbie.
Tom
Everybody
Cruise.
knows him. Yeah, Ryan Gosling is probably
yeah.
your...
Ryan Gosling might be 50 right now.
No, he's not that old. I bet he's early.
So you
40s.
need some leading men in their 20s.
He was in Remember the Titans.
43.
43?
What about them guys that were in all them vampire movies?
Oh, Robert Pattinson?
Yeah.
He doesn't really do much.
No?
I guess another one that's young is that Aussie that was in Euphoria, the real tall dude. Jordy, what's his name?
Nelson.
No.
No.
It's Jordy Nelson of
Yeah.
Kansas State Wildcat. Yeah.
What, Yordi, what the hell's his name?
Okay. Well,
He
I
played
trust,
Elvis
I trust
and
you.
Priscilla.
Jordan.
A bunch of stuff.
And I guess you have
He's
like
pretty good.
Austin Butler.
No,
was,
Austin
that's what I was gonna
Butler
bring up,
is
yeah.
one.
Gerard Butler.
Gerard Butler.
No.
The fuck is that guy's name?
Brett Butler.
Jimmy Butler.
Okay.
Brett Butler, the former
Anyways,
Indian, not
all right.
the actress.
I regret this line of conversation.
Yeah, sorry.
We can,
Couple more things.
Wait, one back to your dad?
Yeah.
Only dad?
No,
Jacob
there's
and Lordy is
four
what
of
I'm
them.
trying to.
Only
okay.
dads?
Yeah.
No, there was a few of them. But I mean, they don't bring down the party at all. It's still a
It
wild.
has to be the right dad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, but the wrong dad wouldn't go.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
It
So,
has to be the right
I don't
dad
think
that
there's
would
going to be
even
a
go.
dad who shows up that you're like, oh, this guy's killing the vibe.
Can you imagine Chappie on a trip?
He would actually.
I have been for
He'd
the
be the
past 5
ringleader.
minutes.
He would fit in really well.
It would be
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
It would be. It would be based on my my day with him yesterday. I'm pretty sure
Was he flasking at the dance recital?
No, I wasn't doing that. But I mean, he
Like
he
a giant flask full of
talks a lot
hurricanes?
S.
Would he gummy up?
I don't know. I have heard rumors.
I don't picture.
Would
him
that
as-
bother you?
Of
Would it
course.
bother you if you saw him flaming up, like passing a joint? We've talked about this in the past.
Really, only because I don't think smoke. But if he like took a little edible, it would be weird, but it wouldn't really like bother me.
Does your dad smoke or just gummy?
Just gummy.
Yeah,
that
I don't
bother
want him
you?
to Smoke.
I would love it.
If you saw him rolling one up?
I would love it.
Yeah,
Because we've talked about that in the past, when
how it's like okay for
when
people
your
to
kids,
drink.
yeah, like you think that's a rite of passage, having a beer with your dad, whatever, that's normal. And even though I think, alcohol is worse than marijuana,
Sure.
like overall, like I think if they were both starting now and there was no finance behind it all, you would just say, hey, based on all the pluses and minuses, I think marijuana should be legal, alcohol shouldn't. If one has to be legal.
Right.
But I can't envision myself passing my daughter a joint, but I can envision having a glass of wine or beer
yeah.
or whatever.
I don't know.
Yeah, one of the nights we both had a gummy and then laid up watching Duck Dynasty.
That sounds
Does he ever like sit there all high and he's
like
like,
the greatest Father's Day ever. It was
man, I
awesome.
remember when you were this big.
No, it doesn't get. We just.
I changed your diaper.
We
Did
just-
you guys
Now
do,
look at you.
Did you guys do skin to skin when you were watching Duck Dynasty?
No.
Because he missed out on that. It was a different time,
Yeah,
wasn't really
yeah.
a thing back then.
Blake hates that.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
I just didn't want to be shirtless when the nurses are coming through.
That's the best time.
Why?
Look at you, man.
Well, I've seen a lot of movies that indicate that is a
You
good
see
time.
my fat ass on the couch shirtless? No. I got enough to do.
That's when she's
Just the
like, oh, it
idea-
looks like you have a lot of stress, Blake.
yeah, with the wife laying right there.
Oh, so exciting.
And then Arizona's a cool place. They got weed, and then they also have sports books.
They do.
So we watched Game 3 at the new DraftKings Sportsbook. And that was so cool because many of us had a lot of bets on like first score, first quarter spread. My buddy nailed the Mavs by 1 at half, and he turned his $15 bet into $330.
Dang.
And so I don't know if y'all remember, PJ gets fouled. It's tied. He splits at the free throw line, and we were all just going nuts. It was a really, really cool watching experience. And then we had funny flight attendant on the way back.
I was just going to say real quick that yesterday when I was watching the Open, well, I think they call this one the U.S. Open, right? You're not allowed to call it the Open.
I thought
Right.
the British Open was the Open.
It is.
It is.
Yeah. When they started, and I was watching it with my dad before they teed off, like Rory was like 3 back, and I was like, man, I think I'm gonna put a little something on this. He's like, what are we talking? And I was like, I don't know, probably $20. And he like burst out laughing and made fun of me. Exactly like you guys do. He's like, $20? What's the fucking point?
But you never do walk in here real dejected because you lost your mortgage.
No,
That's
no.
the
But he was
positive.
like, what, you bet $20? I was like, shouldn't you be happy? Shouldn't you be like proud that I don't have a problem here?
Yeah, that's
But he was like,
if
that's
I gamble, that's what I'm doing.
Your dad's
like
calling you a pussy.
pretty much.
Guys I
yeah,
used
to
to
my
work with,
face on
those-
Father's Day.
Those guys have problems. The dudes I used to work with.
So on
All
the-
right, fun.
You're
funny
aware
flight
of this,
attendant.
right?
I'm quite aware. Yeah.
Real quick, you were talking about the dynamic of not imagining yourself being able to share a joint with your daughter. Maybe this will drive you crazy. When I met my birth mom, the first time that me and my oldest son went up to Massachusetts to see her all together,
Mm-hmm.
this was probably, I don't know, maybe 10, 12 years ago. We all shared a joint.
Okay.
So grandma and
Wow.
grandson with dad in the middle, and it was passed to me and then passed to my then 21, 22-year-old boy in that setting, and it was pretty cool.
that seems awesome.
Yeah.
that does. That's really cool.
Yeah.
It seems awesome.
What do you think about that, Dan?
Yeah, maybe a boy is different.
Maybe.
Maybe
Maybe.
that's different than
I don't think my mom would have cared if I was a girl or Josh was a girl. I think it would have mattered. Yeah.
She's fond of the.
Well, she grew up in in an era where that was her childhood, especially up there in that liberal New England.
Yeah, I'm surprised I've never really heard anything about your mom's smoking.
I'm sure she was into it, but I
All
never.
the Uncle Gary summers of love.
I never ran across it myself.
How old was you were born in 68 or 69?
69.
Okay. And how old
My
was
mom
your,
was 19 when she had
Okay,
it.
my mom turned 20 2 days before I was born.
Yeah.
So our moms are relatively the same age, if not exactly the same age. That's wild.
I think it's weird.
Yeah?
I think it's probably weird for me because, like, my mom was so anti. Like, so anti. Speaking of Chappie, I remember one of the things, like, whenever they were – this is a really healthy thing that people do when they get divorced, where they need to run PR campaigns against one another.
Yeah.
And they just tell you how bad they were. And I remember my mom telling me, like, your father, the first time I met him, had a pot plant.
Sleepy Chappie.
I was like, I think you think this is doing one thing, but it's doing the other.
So you,
I was like, that guy sounds like he rules.
yeah, she's thinking she's going to tell you how bad
Unfit.
he is.
Yeah.
Unfit to be a
And you're like, I didn't know he was that awesome.
Can't
Yeah.
pass the cognitive test because he's stoned.
So we had a layover on the way back, and for some reason we had to deboard and get back on. And I mentioned we had funny flight attendant. He had the exact same routine. I thought maybe they would mix it up a little bit depending on the crowd, but no, they just have their set and they have their script. Got to hear that twice.
Do you have it?
So the same guy.
Yeah, same
You
guy.
were just on two legs of the flight with that guy.
Same guy, painted fingernails, long earrings.
Well, you got to admire it sometimes.
What
like I
airline?
do with the stand-up.
Southie?
Southwest?
All right. Yeah, the flight attendants look a lot different than they did in the early 70s. You seen those outfits?
Yeah, I have. Quite fond of them, but yes, things have changed.
Mm-hmm.
His biggest punchline, I think, no matter where you got your bag, whether it's Target, Canal Street, Amazon, Temu, let's be honest, you didn't buy a Louis Vuitton because you're flying Southwest. It needs to be under the seat in front of you.
Okay, little shot at the employer. I like
Yeah,
it.
that hit a little
It's
bit.
not bad.
Yeah.
Not bad.
So it was the same flight attendant.
Yeah.
And he just regurgitated his shtick.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, look, Paul McCartney's not changing his set list when he's playing in,
Yeah.
New York or
Yeah,
Detroit.
I mean,
It's the
Dan's
same
right.
thing.
I know, but you want to test different material, right?
Run the hits.
Yeah.
But it is a little bit disappointing to feel that was not like a unique experience the first time.
Nothing is.
That's probably true.
Yeah.
Nothing is.
All right, let me leave you with two Scottsdale observations.
Does your golf week have a name?
Well, we still call ourselves the Dirty Dozen,
Wow.
so the name hasn't changed from when we made it.
You like
when we
the
had
you like
12.
the Big Ten?
Man, who are the ad wizards that came up with that?
Yeah. I don't know. All right, Scottsdale observations. One, the homeless there are extra wild.
They're hot.
Yeah, the heat gets to them.
they're going nuts.
But every single one of them walking in the middle of the street, they got blood all over their shirt, like they're just tweaking real hard.
Blood.
But like you're so close to California. What are you doing in
Just keep
Arizona?
going, young
Keep
man.
going west.
That close? What? They're going to walk to L.A.?
You're
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 closer
one
than you
state
are if
over.
you're in Ohio.
You're
Yeah.
one state over.
For sure.
Catch a bus or something. You got to get out of that. Right?
Yeah,
That's
I remember the homeless is a pretty big deal in Phoenix, the Phoenix Tempe area.
Yeah.
It's a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, they were wild.
There was a lot fewer in Austin than I was expecting. Like all
You
I've
can't
heard,
tell the difference.
Well, maybe that's the case. Yeah,
That's-
Maybe
They're
that's
all
it.
hanging around
people-
coffee shops. Yeah. And then the final, what is it? West Coast time zone is the best. The Mavs game started at 5, and it was over by like 8:15.
Now you sound like me.
But
You want-
I mean, just think of your work day. Like you're done 4:35, you get home, and then the game is on.
Okay, can I say something or
I would
ask
love
something
that.
really, really dumb?
Yeah, but football season?
Does
starting your games
Arizona-
at
10 a.m. That's not bad.
I think that'd be cool.
Yeah,
Okay, so that wasn't that dumb then. Arizona doesn't change, right?
correct.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, during the time we were 2 hours behind.
Okay. Yeah, that's pretty sweet. No, my dad used to love it when he lived in Vegas. He's like, I get up and get ready for NFL at 9:15, 9:30. game's kicking in half an hour.
Why don't you just get rid of time zones? Why can't it just be noon everywhere, but your noon is dark?
I mean,
I don't like that.
I could get on board with that. I've told these guys this story a million times, but like when I went to Iceland a year and a half ago, it never got dark.
Right.
And the wildest experience, pound for pound, I've ever had in my life was listening to Master of Puppets at max volume, shit-faced, at 2 o'clock in the morning in broad daylight.
Where were you? At a bar?
In Iceland, yeah, at the bar. Like,
Yeah, you ever get wasted
people in Iceland love metal.
Yeah.
at a dark bar,
And you walk out and you're
day
like,
drinking, and you walk out at 2 p.m.?
I have, but this is a different experience because it was never dark in there.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
they had the windows, there were no, like, blinds or anything, so, like, the bar was light the whole time.
And it's midnight.
And it's 2 o'clock in the morning when they close, and they're just, I got Lemmy over here shredding.
How many hours of nighttime do you get there?
0 at
Like,
that time.
Does it ever appear like dusk, or is it just like the sun's just not above your head the entire 24 hours, right?
Barely.
Wow.
Barely. And then the flip side of that is that, in the other, I guess in the winter,
For a couple of months, it's dark all the time.
23 hours a day,
Wow.
23 and a half hours a day.
So it's
Yeah,
like
I wonder how that-
HBO show.
I was talking to
Jodie Foster.
a couple people there that had kids, and I'm like, so you're
Which is based on real life.
Yep.
Right.
They didn't get this from an HBO show.
Like talking to parents there, and I'm like, how do you get your kid together?
What about your circadian rhythm? Or
There you go.
Whatever they say that
That was pretty good.
Yeah.
I think
the sun affects you.
the biggest thing is that every place we stayed when we were there, they had like hardcore blackout lining.
Yeah.
So it didn't.
Like hotels here could learn a thing or two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. Nothing better than the
Boy,
dark
they could,
hotel.
man.
The best. Cold.
Mm.
A cold, dark hotel.
I used to always
You never
complain
know
about
what it is.
the fact that the curtains wouldn't overlap, so
Yeah.
there'd always be that thing.
Yes.
Didn't you start bringing something?
Well, for a while I
Like
learned the
glue?
hack of the hotel hanger, where with the clip that you can hang your pants on, you can hang that up and clip the drapes together.
Smart.
And then I realized, well, what if I just brought an eye mask and I can wear it, I can do
Yeah.
whatever. And so that's what I do now. And I bring a blanket.
Do those things fall off your head when you're sleeping? 'Cause
Mine
I've
don't.
been
Mine's pretty solid.
considering one of these.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could just put a little like a thing of duct tape around your head too.
You know what
Holds it right
what
on.
I recommend is actually if you go to the grocery store, just put a bag and then just kind of tie it around your
Yeah.
But definitely not a clear bag. That won't
No,
work.
get a dark bag and and see how that goes for you.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
You sleep in an eye mask, even at home?
Oh yeah,
I try to.
wow.
Sometimes I forget, but I try to.
I love it.
Yeah. I have one.
Huh.
It's in the nightstand.
Is it fuzzy?
No, it's not. No, it doesn't have felt or any.
Did you have one more Arizona thing, or
That's it.
that was it? That was the end.
I thought it was
That's a
really
great
good.
story, Blake.
Hey,
Yeah.
wait.
Yay!